today. You see that for the last few minutes or so, there's been agitation. It looks so much that the victory of your party was not well received by other political parties.
No, apart from that, the people making noise are protesting. They were not given a copy of the results. At the same time, they gave me a copy of the results. PDP, APC, and UPP. Because, you know, you have to sign a lot of it to go around the 37 political parties that contested the election. So they are saying that I shouldn't be given a copy, APC should not be given a copy, and UPP should not be given a copy, and PDP should not be given a copy. That's the noise about. That's what the noise is about, not about
so
the election.
Is about,
it's not about the election.
Against INEC.
They say INEC gave us preferential treatment by giving us the copies of the results first. That's it, not anything about the election. They say every political party will get its own copy at the same time. I don't see the sense in
So this is a copy of your own party?
Yeah, that's the copy of the collected results, the final results.
Okay. And so, signed by
the returning officer.
And the returning officer.
Yeah, that's correct.
So this is a duplicate copy?
It's a duplicate copy.
Okay.
And they're making noise that is a preferential treatment if we are given these copies. And they're asked to wait.
So how many political parties were given?
4. APC, ABGA, PDP, and UPP. And you know, if you remove one sheet, the thing fades away as you go down the line. And they were asked to wait so that they can produce more, so that they can get something you can read, something that is legible. And they are shouting that everybody will take it at the same time. Everybody will not take it at the same time.
All right, let's talk about the election.
It has nothing to do with the election.
Let's talk about the election.
Yeah.
How did your party win this election?
Well, it didn't come to us as a surprise. It's just that analysts have been saying all kinds of things. On Thursday, the 16th of November, I was on Channels TV, Sunrise Daily, when I discussed the issues that will determine this election. And I predicted that ABGA will have a landslide victory if the election is credible. You know, if INEC leads to the billing, conducts a credible election, ABGA will win landslide. That was my statement. And today, INEC lived to the billing, conducted a credible, free and fair election. The police was there to maintain peace, you know, maintain a great level of neutrality, and the atmosphere was good for a credible election to take place. What did you see? ABGA winning the entire election, 21 local governments.
It's been a while we've seen this kind of. The last time we saw this was about 4 years ago in Ekiti State, where a governorship candidate wins, or in the local government areas. So it comes with a lot of controversies. But this time around, you heard the reasons for some of the cancellation of the result, issues of buying of votes, issues of ballot snatching. Did you hear that your party gave out monies for votes?
Those are wild allegations because some people who paid out money lost the election, and they couldn't understand that. ABGA won this election on the strength of the governor's performance in the past 3 years and 7 months, which I had put across severally. And secondly, ABGA is the reason for the stability in Anambra State. You know, the state has fared well under ABGA for the past 11 years. And it is natural that the people want to keep a political party that has gone well for them. You know, aside from the superlative performance the governor put up in 3 years and 7 months. When they were making all kinds of claims that they will do this, they will do that, I said they won't have any chance in this election. And it has just played out. Because the governor has touched every community in this state.
Okay, before we talk about the governor, his mandate, and his performance, let's touch on the conduct of this election.
Sure.
Did you hear that they were buying of votes during the election?
Of course, I had. They bought, that was what they relied upon. They didn't campaign. It was only ABGA that went to the entire 21 local governments and campaigned very vigorously. You know, meeting the people, talking to them, reminding them of the things the governor had done. And on each occasion, in every local government, large crowd will come out and the people will take over from us, telling us what the governor has done and why he must continue in office for a second term. You know, they were busy planning on how to share money and buy votes.
Your party did not buy votes?
How can you buy votes when the people are rooting for you?
You heard about some arrests made by DSS?
Not ABGA people. Go and verify. No ABGA
The man
people.
confessed that he was working with for ABGA.
No, that's not true. It's not true. It never happened. There was no such incidents. You know the people who are relying on money, not us. We went to the election on the strength of what the party has done for the people. You know, they've not done anything for the people. So the only thing you can use to get the vote will be to pay money.
So you're saying
and they collected their money and voted against them.
Mr. Obiano deserved this victory. Is that what you're saying?
100% deserved victory. You know, you can't deceive the people when they are on their own, able to see what their governor has done for them. So if you come and tell them the governor has not done anything, they will not believe you because they feel the goodness of the government is running. So that's why it was difficult for them to use money and propaganda to sway the electorate to their direction. You know, nobody will ever want to see a governor that is doing well leave the seat.
All right. Yes. We'll take a break, but when we come back, we will talk more about the next 4 years, what the governor should focus on, and the atmosphere generally in the background of the announcement and the declaration of the winner in this race. Don't go anywhere, everyone. Join us again.
Our senior correspondent, Femi Akonde, has been in Awka giving us live updates on the progress of the election. He is in the company of the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress in that state, Tony Nwoye. Femi.
All right, thank you very much, Buki. Well, the election have been won and lost here in Anambra State. And of course, the reactions have trailed the outcome of this election. We've seen people on the street, of course, some jubilating, some not really happy. It's been mixed feelings around here. It's a mixed feelings out there. Even there, right there at INEC office, there were also reactions to the polls. Some people protested the outcome of the result, not pleased with some discrepancies in the handling of the whole process. But well, so far it's still been a peaceful process right here. And I was also at the country home, of course, of the APC governorship candidate, Mr. Tony Nwoye. Well, there, it was kind of a mixed feelings over there too. The town was very quiet, and well, people are talking in hushed tones about the election, and we wait to see what happens next from this point.
Okay, tell us how the other candidates besides the APC governorship candidate is, handling this loss.
Sorry, I didn't hear that question. Can you say it again?
Perhaps if you know how other candidates besides the candidates of the All Progressives Congress, tell us how they're handling this loss.
The running mate to Mr. Tony Nwoye. Hello, join me here, sir. Mr. Tony Nwoye. Hello, sir. The election have been won and lost, but let's know what's the position of your party and, of course, your candidate, Mr. Tony Nwoye.
Well, our position right now is that we had a peaceful election in Anambra State, and we are grateful to God. We're also grateful to the national leadership of APC for all the support they give us. And we are grateful to the President of the Federal Republic, President Buhari, for coming to our grand finale and supporting us. This is the beginning of something new. APC has now gained great support in Anambra State, and this could be the launching pad into the Southeast. So we are glad about the support, the teaming support from the youth of Anambra State, the people that came out to support us. But it's also important to note that there was a lot of irregularities.
Yeah, I spoke with the governorship candidate, Mr. Tony Nwoye, after he just cast his vote, and he talked about these irregularities. What are some of these irregularities, and how would you say it impacted on the outcome?
The security agents collaborated with APGA. Our state chairman, Barrister Mekibe, was detained at some point. And that's very sad. And a lot of our party supporters were detained. Our party functionaries were detained. And many of our agents did not get to the polling units or to the polling centers till maybe about 10 a.m.
But you know,
and before they got there, a lot of the ballot boxes were already stuffed by APGA agents. But however, Dr. Tony Moye says he's taking everything in good spirit and that he's leaving everybody to be judged by their conscience.
So he's not contesting the result?
Well, he says he's leaving everybody to be judged by their conscience. However, the party leadership say that they're examining the whole process. You know, just they'll sit down, look at everything that happened, and then at that point make their determinations. But however, Dr. Tony Moye, a good man with large heart, he has extended support to the governor of Anambra State, and we'll see what the party comes up with.
All right, you know, most of these allegations, like most of the things you say happened during the voting process, some of these allegations come up during election, accusations and counter-accusations, but are they verifiable?
Well,
because some people say politicians are used to whipping up this kind of sentiments.
The best way to verify some of these accusations is by going to court. It's the court that can verify. But however, we are alleging and we know that the security apparatus collaborated with APGA in many key areas. And also the results that the INEC released, it's way beyond the voting, the number of people that came out to vote in some polling centers. But be that as it may, Dr. Moye says he has accepted everything that happened, and we just wait on the leadership of the party to come up with their own position.
Mm-hmm. Okay, did you anticipate that the APC, because it appears you're satisfied with the performance of the APC, and it appears from what you're saying, the APC is now making inroads into the southeast, but what does this, the number of votes Dr. Umoye got, what does it say about his candidacy and his person, acceptance?
What's going on is that Dr. Tony Moye is a very popular person in this state. When we went to different communities and we had our campaigns, the support that we received from the people of Anambra State was just overwhelming. However, if the APGA-led government had allowed the will of the people to count as far as the election is concerned, we will be having, Tony Moye will have been announced as the winner of the election. But because of the kind of person he is, he says he's accepting what has happened. And he also knows that it's God that anoints the people's leader. He offered himself to serve, and as it is right now, as it stands right now, Governor Obiano has been returned as the winner of the election. And we're accepting it just the way it is. And we wait for the leadership of the party in the state and national to come up with their own position.
All right, then. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, sir. Well, that's the running mate to Mr. Tony Moye, the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress. He says the party, the candidates are, of course, they've accepted their fate, and they have congratulated the governor that was returned, Governor Willie Obiano. Well, that's their own position from here.
Back to the news at 10. Let's go live now to Awka, where our political correspondent Shimo Kimbaloye is standing by to speak to the governor-elect of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, his first interview since the election. Hi, Shimo.
Thank you so much and welcome to Anambra State. We are now being joined on the news at 10 by the governor of Anambra State and the winner of the Anambra State governorship election 2017. Governor Willie Obiano, many thanks for joining us on the News at 10. And I must say, congratulations on your victory today.
Thank you, Cheryl.
You've won in 21 local government areas of 21 local government areas of Anambra State. How does that make you feel?
Well, first, I thank God the Almighty for making this possible. It's overwhelming endorsement by Indian Anambra that I should move on with what I'm doing for them. Like you know very well, before I came in, security was an issue. I came, I saw, I conquered, you know, and it's not a static thing. Security is continuous. So we are moving, and we are going to put in more effort to ensure that the next 4 years is even far better than they've seen it now. I'll keep awake so that all Anambra people and people that are living in Anambra, you know, sleep with their 2 eyes closed, you know.
You've embarked on some projects which a lot of people believe that are quite ambitious in the midst of austerity, or call it economic recession that we've faced. I mean, going into a lot of people, your critics have said you're just doing this as just a window dressing to gain victory. Going into in another 4 years that you have been given a mandate, what's going to be your priority?
Well, I wouldn't know what they are referring to. If it's the airport is going to go properly because Anambra is not bringing a kobo in the investment. It's a build, operate, manage, and transfer approach that we did with the Chinese company funded by Exim Bank, you know, and they are on ground. They are trying to push some, you know, some guarantee to support some of the funding that initial funding they will get. So I'm quite confident about that. You know, I'm only facilitating that using my banking background. I'm not putting a kobo in there, you know, but I'm directing them and moving them in a direction that will make Anambra better. But we have greater projects that we're doing. Things I'm doing in agriculture is fantastic, and we're going to, in the next 4 years, progress it. One of the things that won me accolade amongst all the local governments basically was choose your project, community project, 40 million per community. All communities are choosing their second project now. It has never happened in the history of Nigeria anywhere at all. You know, every community, you know, even the remotest place in Anambra, which is Olumbanasa, very close to Kogi, you know, benefited from that choose your project community. Apart from the schools we built for them, they now got the money. And we are trying to do a bridge for them, roads and what have you. You know, you made a point, in the era of recession, you know, when monies are trickling, you know, what do we do? I've reassured Anambra that I'm going to increase IGR without increasing taxes. And how do I do it? First,
but how many percentage do you hope to do that?
Well, significantly, I've done over 300% already.
So you are hoping to do how many percent more?
No, we were basically, I want to be, at first I started with 250 million per month. Now I'm about 1.7, hovering around that. I want to, yes, 1.7 billion. I want to be at 2.5 billion, so I can manage my recurrent expenditures properly, and now forget about federal funding every month, you know. But what we have so far does help me to pay salaries as and when due, even when the federal government hasn't paid me back. I'm always have a buffer to be able to address that. And the civil servants in the state will continue to enjoy all those opportunities that they've gotten so far, and they've shown it in this election. I believe they came out very massively to support this initiative. This
is a common trait with a lot of governors or executives who get a second term, a second shot at governing the people. And what happens is that they drop the ball and they slow down. So if there is one thing that is of emergency that you want to do for in your program for the people of Anambra, what would that be?
Well, Sheru, I'm not going to drop the ball. My eyes are on the ball. I'm working hard to ensure that at the end of my 8 years, governors coming after me will not have to depend on a FAC to run the state. And that's what I'm doing in investment. Security is the greatest thing that I've done, and it's bringing a lot of people in. Let me give you an example, Shehu. Every month, the Anambra people that come into Anambra to celebrate weddings, church activities, name them, in deluge. We've estimated that they bring in about 1 billion naira monthly into Anambra, and this trickle down to the cab drivers, taxi drivers, and what have you. Then they choose your project, 40 million per community. We're going to do that for each of the next 4 years, and that means in my end of my 8 years, they would have gotten 200 million each
per community,
and that would have gone very far in developing that community. That means they will have in the next 4 years 8 projects plus the 2 they have now, 10 projects. So you can imagine showing in your village, you have 8 projects by the government, apart from the roads that are coming there, the water, the electricity we are bringing. That's a lot of development.
You've not told me about that one thing that is urgent that you want to do for the people of Anambra State as you kickstart your next 4 years.
The greatest thing that we want to do is to emulate what Israelis have done. We have very rich Anambra people all over the world. Anambra made Lagos what it is.
Really?
Whether they want to accept it or not. The taxes that are paid are mostly by Anambra people. You know, the development that is going there, the houses that are, come on, a lot of things that are happening there. And the same all over the place, but none in the Southeast. Why? First, no security then, now we've gotten security. So I'm emphasizing that this is time to come home and invest, you know, and we are giving them, by the way, we have reduced our challenges on investment to almost zero. Anambra now is the easiest place to come for investment because you sit in a one-stop shop investment outfit called ANSIPA, Anambra State Investment and Promotion and Protection Agency, headed by a banker and many bankers. You know, from there, you know, you get things sorted out in an hour or 2, and you get your CFO in 2 weeks if your case is good. If your case is not good, they help you build it or they cancel it, as the case may be. You know, so we're doing so much things. But this second administration will touch the lives of the less privileged. They touch the lives of the common man in the streets who voted for me. It will also touch the lives of the big people, whose industries will employ the young ones that we are bringing.
Before we wrap up this conversation,
yes.
Governor Obiano, you are the only governor of APGA, the All Progressive Ghana Alliance.
Yes.
Are you under immense pressure?
Not at all. This victory will have a permanganate effect. You know a permanganate? Put it in water, ripple effect.
Yes.
A permanganate effect on the Southeast.
You're hoping to win more states?
We are going to win all the Southeast.
Do you have that resource?
I moved down to the South. You saw how nobody has won 21/21. It's got 100%. It was a full endorsement by the people. You know, I was returned unopposed. That's the word. Unopposed, that's the word. And it hasn't happened in history, despite all the campaign of calumny by funny people all over the place. You know, but we won. The same thing will happen there. And from there, we'll do like the Yorubas did. They started from Lagos, AD. Won some of the states in the West. Now form the bloc to be able to negotiate with the center. That's our strategy, and we can achieve that with ease.
Governor Willie Obiano, winning again as a governor of Anambra State a second time. Many thanks for your time on the program, and I must say congratulations once again.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Let me greet you.
This is how you greet him.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you so much.
The other one.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I appreciate
you,
it. Congratulations.
Well done. Thank you, Sean.
And that's it from Anambra State. It's
Well
back
done.
to you now on the
Thank
News
you.
at 10.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Show. Back here in Lagos to the arts. October Rain is an exhibition by the Lagos chapter of the Society of Nigerian Artists. The event's 10th in the series displays the dexterity of Nigerian artists from sculpture to paintings. And that's on Art Review tonight. It's a journey that started in 2007 at the same venue, the National Museum in Lagos. 10 years after, at the 19th Annual Juried Art Show, the flow of colors and precise chiseled wonders interface at the October Rain exhibition, and only the best made the cut.
October Rain exhibition is put together by the Society of Nigerian Artists Lagos State chapter to house the artists, particularly the productive ones. It is an exercise that is formed to evaluate the productivity of the artists, particularly from Lagos State. And it has actually worked out in the areas of the artists bringing in new things into the art landscape. And it's quite innovative.
Before we choose the artists, we send out call for entry and people put in for the show. So after that, we do the jury. So we actually set a panel of jury that did that, not from the committee. And they look at the quality of works, they look at the strength and the content also of the art piece before they can choose the work.
Exhibition, which bridges a generation gap, sees old and young artists of the society in one room. The sheer breadth of creativity takes some of the pioneers down memory lane.
Time we founded the Society of Nigerian Artists in 1963. We were only three of us started it. Grillo, Anambra Choir, and myself started it. Then we brought in more people and more people. And at our best, we were about 17 in the whole of Lagos at that time. But now you can see our children and grandchildren in high numbers. And they are doing very well. I'm happy with them.
There's also a man who is a key part of this event and made a big impression on the hearts of many artists, whether they knew him up close and personal or not.
Chief Rashid Badamasi, a pleasant man, very distinguished, and also a philanthropist, a lover of the arts, specifically visual arts, painting, and a friend of mine.
The Lagos State chapter of the Society of Nigerian Artists was established in 1981. It's a professional body for all practicing visual artists with branches across the country. Still ahead on the news at 10, David Moyes' West Ham United's reign starts with defeat at Watford in the English Premier League. Stay with us, it's on Sports News.